In this world that's so noisy, not just as adults, but what are our children hearing? What are they absorbing with negative news? Well, kids can be mean at school even. My next author is just going to bring such an encouraging message of helping children not to just feel loved, but to be able to share that love. Welcome, Judith. We're glad that you're here today.
Thank you for having me.
And Judith's book is called I Won't Do That. I like the title. Let's dig a little deeper what it's about.
Okay. It's about teaching children how to love, to respect each other. Because as an educator, being in the classroom, I notice sometimes they can be a little mean to each other about
Mhm.
the things they wear, how they look, how they dress. So my book is like meeting them at the beginning, like
Mm.
at kindergarten level. Start teaching them from that level to love and appreciate each other differences.
Do you see that what they are receiving at home is what they're giving at school?
It could be. Sometimes it is, and other reasons I really don't know. But talking with them sometimes, it's what comes from the home.
Mm.
And if we can reverse that by saying, again, I won't do that. I won't laugh at my friends when they fall. I won't laugh at the clothes they wear. Uh, I notice that it helps. And again, I believe if we can catch them at the early stage when they're like sponges, that
Mhm.
they can absorb what we're trying to say, we stand a better chance of bringing some love in this world.
Judith, I love your message because you're asking them, you're not only sharing and in educating them, but you're asking them to be brave and not necessarily be like their peers. And that's what leadership is.
Yes.
So that's a
Yeah.
really important thing.
Yes, it is, because most of the times, and that's the issue sometimes, there is no leader sometimes.
Mhm.
So sometimes it's on us. I don't really want to say we as teachers or educators are going to take over the home,
Of
but
course.
sometimes it's on us as we teach to try to get them to understand that love is also okay. We are filled with so much hatred, it's coming at us so much, but love is also okay. So
Yes.
it's good to be kind.
And what a beautiful thing when we love people, we can respect and embrace differences and
That is
say, wow, I'm glad you're not like me. We don't need two of me.
right.
We need the world to be diverse and filled with all kinds of creativity and different thoughts and colors and shapes and sizes.
Right.
How does your book address differences among people?
It addressed differences because again, going back to the classroom, what I notice is that if a child is not wearing what is considered the coolest shoes
Mhm,
or the latest shoes, then he's laughed at. Or
mhm.
he's not wearing the latest shirt or t-shirt, then he's laughed at. So that is what we notice in the class, and that is what we address right away. That you know whatever they wear, sometimes I use the message, meet them where they are.
Mm,
And sometimes that is what they can afford, what their parents. It's okay if yours can go a bit higher, but it's also
yes.
okay if this is what their mom and dad can afford.
Judith, how does that manifest itself from a child who's maybe bullied a little bit or beaten up or not really even accepted or teased? How does that manifest itself into older adults?
uh with I believe, and like I said, while we teach, we also try to incorporate for them to be kind. And I believe once we teach them and they take it home, uh, they in a way teach mom and dad. They in a way will tell mom and dad, you won't do that either.
Yeah.
I won't do that, and you won't do this either.
Wow.
So this is how it will manifest. It starts from young little minds, and they can teach us as well.
Yes.
Yes.
And those little children that are taught to be well adjusted and able to love turn into adults and bosses and politicians and, public servants that can love and embrace differences. So it's kind of a gift that just keeps giving for a lifetime, because we are all very unique in our own way. And you say that is definitely to be embraced. Can you talk
Yes, it
about that a
is.
little more?
Our difference is who we are. I always refer to us like flowers in a garden. It's
Mm,
not just yellow or red. We have purple, we have green, we have all colors. And if you look at the garden, it makes it beautiful. All
yes.
the different colors make it beautiful. So I believe if we look at that and kind of use that as an example to know that whatever we come with, this is who we are. You
Hmm.
know, if you're black, that's who you are. If you're white, if you're Indian, we have to learn to embrace each other differences.
One of the really important messages in your book that's called I Won't Do That is that we need to look at other people's points of view. And this
Yes,
is deeper than being open minded. You're taking a next step by saying, look at people from their points of view.
yes,
That's an empathetic,
yes.
self awareness step. That I
Right.
just found that really interesting in your book.
Yes, it is. And again, it brings us back to the clothing or the shoes. It's where they are and what they can afford.
Yeah,
So we just accept that. Don't bully them or laugh or this is who they are, this is what they
right.
can afford. Let us
And
love each other regardless. Yes.
yes, and by taking that extra step of not just being open-minded, but putting ourselves in their shoes, you are seeing things from their perspective and maybe saying, maybe they are the way they are because they don't get something at home or because this is happening, or maybe it's medical or maybe whatever. It's that
Mhm.
extra step of empathy. I think as adults, if we could do that, we'd have
Yes.
a nicer, more peaceful
Mhm.
world if we stop to go, let me think about what they're going through.
Yes.
Um, One of the other things that I think is very interesting with your book is you talk about how bias and discrimination separate us.
Mhm.
Would you share about that?
Uh, this have to do mostly with the students who are African Americans.
Mm,
Uh, some some other races of kids might not understand where they're coming from, who they are, why they act the way they do, and they might use that as again something to bully or laugh at. But we don't know again what they're going through, why they're like that.
yeah,
Yes, it can be again problems in the home. It can be the neighborhood where they live at. They are they see other things that someone from another race might not see. More
mm,
violence, more
sure. More
yes,
temptation. Mhm.
right. So I believe again, if we have to sit and talk to each other. That's the main part of it. We have to sit and talk. That's the only way we're going to know what each other is going through. Uh,
Judith, we have to stop being cattle and just getting in line and saying,
yes,
I'm going to step out of this line and I'm going to be vulnerable and real and take a chance and love people outwardly. And if I get
yes,
mocked and ridiculed, then I will, but it's the right thing to do because
yes,
I won't do that. I won't
yes,
stand in line and continue to hurt and pound and push down on people. So
yes.
thank you so much for an incredible book and what an amazing message. Just share with us where it's available.
It's available at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and anywhere books are sold.
And of course, you are published and represented by Maple Leaf Publishing. We
That is
thank you
correct.
so much.
Mhm.
Judith, have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Thank you for having me.